Hi class, this video will demonstrate gravity stretch with and without weights to the shoulder and elbow. Let me get in position and I'll demonstrate. To demonstrate stretching the shoulder into flexion, therefore stretching the extensors, the patient should be lying supine. Thumb to the ceiling, up and over. And let's say this is all my range, we would let gravity pull me into full flexion. To enhance the stretch, you could use a dumbbell. Oops, let me scoot down a little so you can see the dumbbell. Or a cuff weight. The same position is used to gain extension, therefore stretch the flexors. In order to do this properly, have the patient scoot over to the edge of the table, just with the tip of the shoulder hanging off, and then they will bring the arm into extension. Gravity will pull them into further extension, and you can see I have full range. Important factors: make sure the patient isn't rotating into the stretch, make sure the scapulae are flat on the table. So I'm scooted over to the edge of the table and I'm in extension. The stretch can be enhanced with a weight, a dumbbell, or a cuff weight. So that would be stretching into extension to stretch the anterior capsule and the flexors. Let me demonstrate a gravity stretch to increase abduction. In this case, the patient is lying side-lying, and the arm is up and over in this position. Now you can see that I have full range of motion. If I didn't, I'd sort of stop like this, and then you might put a cuff weight around my wrist to enhance the stretch. So that is stretching to increase abduction, stretching the adductors. The next stretch would be to increase, internal and external rotation. In this stretch, I place a towel roll under the humerus. I position the patient in 90-90, and that, let me get that position perfect. That 90-90 would be 90 degrees of abduction and 90 degrees of elbow flexion. To stretch, to improve range in external rotation, bring the arm back. And again, you could use a weight or a cuff weight. I'm now stretching the internal rotators in order to try and gain more external rotation. For this, the opposite would be to stretch to gain more internal rotation. I would then stretch this way. Again, 90-90. Go into internal rotation. I could use a weight. And therefore, I'm stretching to gain more internal rotation, stretching the external rotators. For the shoulder, one more, a gravity stretch, and that would be to stretch the horizontal adductors to gain more horizontal abduction. I take my towel roll, I scoot to the edge of the table, I place my towel roll behind the scapula. I think I've got it. And I bring the arm straight out into horizontal abduction. I can feel my horizontal adductors stretching with this exercise. Caution the patient, you want to observe to make sure the shoulders are on the table and not rotating towards the stretch. Again, to enhance the stretch, I can use a weight, really now stretching the anterior capsule, and I could use a cuff weight. So that would be stretching to increase horizontal abduction, stretching the horizontal adductors. I'm going to scoot over to the elbow now. Okay. For the elbow, in order to gain flexion, I usually like a towel roll for this. This can be done in seated, but I like it in supine. We're just going to simply bend the elbow to do a gravity stretch. Now the weight of the forearm is not great, so generally we want to use a weight or a cuff weight for this. If you're doing this for a long period of time, for example, the optimal time of 20 minutes, you're probably better off with a cuff weight because it would be hard for the patient to maintain holding the weight for a full 20 minutes. To stretch extension, again, the towel roll is at the distal humerus. We go into extension and allow gravity to pull us into more extension, stretching the flexors. Hold the weight or put on the cuff weight, and the stretch is enhanced. What we want to look out for is, again, to make sure that shoulder isn't lifted and the patient stays in the position that you put them in. So that was gravity stretch with and without weights for the shoulder and for the elbow in the supine position.